Hello, I'm Liam Dan, host of the NZ Herald podcast Money Talks. We're back for our 5th season with an exciting range of guests. You can listen to Money Talks at nzherald.co.nz or on your favourite podcast app. New episodes every Saturday.
You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
On Easter Sunday, but no rest for, well, some people. No rest for me, no rest for James McOnie. Thanks for taking our call, mate. I thought you might be one of those who perhaps wasn't available on Easter Sunday, but great to have you with us.
Yeah, no, I've done the Easter egg hunt. I did it for myself, so I knew where most of them were.
Did you find a couple of last year's ones?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Fine. All right. I'm
all sorted. Yeah.
That's good. Good to know. Super Rugby. Hurricanes are top. Let's call the whole thing off.
It really count. I was actually thinking the Warriors should do that. Have the Dalians now and actually just go, okay, come on down. Webster, Johnson, all these. But anyway, yeah, for your Hurricanes, I think they are legit. I was saying that last week, Piney, and the past couple of weeks, but I guess all the noise is about Cam Roigard, this Waikato, originally from the Waikato halfback, who can run, he's big, he can pass, he does it all. But right now, it's like we've got a logjam of halfbacks when we've never had that in the past.
What do you reckon the order? I mean, we know Aaron Smith's going to the World Cup, right? We know we can write his name down, and they always take 3 halfbacks. So, as you say, there's a bit of a logjam. What do you think the makeup of the other 2 in that halfback trio will be?
Well, if you say that TJ Perenara, we're not quite sure what's going to happen there, then I think the order is Aaron Smith, Brad Weber, Cam Roigard, I think.
So no Finlay Christie. So Finlay Christie misses out in that scenario.
No, that's actually ridiculous. I was watching Finlay Christie last night going, how good is Finlay Christie? So, look, the problem is that there's 4 or 5 into 3. This is what I reckon. Like Finlay Christie is actually pushing Aaron Smith for the number 1 spot. So I just get excited talking about Cam Roigard and Brad Weber. This is the issue. Finlay Christie is legit. So you could have any number of players. Imagine if Cortez Ratama went to the World Cup, you wouldn't be upset. Or Folau Fakatava. It's just that tight at the top. Hard to say, really. Who's your top 3?
Well, I don't know. And I wonder whether they might just say to Cam Roigard, hey, yeah, we know you're going to be an All Black, but it might just have to be from 2024 onwards. But just as I'm speaking, I'm just reading off Liam Napier's article before in the Herald, and now a video has flashed up of that try that Cam Roigard scored last night when he sprinted about 60 metres, leaving everybody for dead and scoring a try. So I wonder whether Roigard should be there. But you're right, there are six halfbacks, and you mentioned Ratama in that mix as well. We've only got 5 teams. We're pretty well served for halfbacks at the moment.
Yeah, we are. And look, Finlay Christie is one of those guys who does actually look like a really good starting option. You know how sometimes you just know that there's some players like Tawade Kurbalo was always brilliant off the bench for the All Blacks, but he was probably never challenging for the number 1 spot at Test level. So it feels like you really have to choose a guy. You really need the perfect bench impact guy, someone who could actually break the game open, and that's where Cam Roigard probably, could he make an impact coming on in a big game? Facing Dupont, who's probably the number 1 halfback in the world at the moment from France. Who's going to be able to handle that sort of challenge? Because that's really what you're asking. Maybe they're going to play a lower pool game where it's a guaranteed 50-pointer, but the rest is who can handle the big stage.
Yeah, indeed. And it sounds as though reports of Beauden Barrett's demise have been a little bit exaggerated. The Blues were good in the second half last night, saw a couple of highlights, and Bodie's still got a bit of gas left in the tank by the looks of things.
Piney, since we don't have ads today, can you play my audio from last week talking about Beauden Barrett after his shocker in Kirikiriroa? I mean, I honestly think this guy that's part of the reason why you need him, is that he can come up with moments of genius. He is a little bit mercurial in the correct sense of the word, which does mean up and down, doesn't mean that you're just magic all the time. He does have that element to him, but the things I like that I think you need at Test level is he's got great defence, he's got great tactical kicking, and then every now and then he can pull something out of the bag, like that, like last night, the double chip, and he's got elite wheels. So, the gap's closed faster in test level, and that's where Bodie can make that big difference. I still love Richie Mo'unga, and I think he's one of the finest players that were produced as well. It's just that sometimes you have to make a choice, and at the moment I feel like Bodie needs to be given a chance at number 10.
All right, we'll see how that all plays out over the next little while. To the Masters at Augusta, we just spoke to Bob Bubka from Augusta not long ago. It's going to be a bit of a funny old final day with the third round to be completed and then the fourth round. Do you like watching the Masters at Augusta, apart from when it rains?
Oh yeah, I love it's kind of cinematic, isn't it? Where they sort of have that dolly shot where they go and they show the fuchsia flowers, and then they put it on a player who's wearing the same colour, and there is something really nice about it. The music that they play over and over again, I think, becomes slightly maddening, but it's the Masters, right? And all I really wanted to say is that Ryan Fox has acquitted himself so well. This has been, a long time coming for the guy. He's number 37 in the world. I think he's shown that he's easily that good, maybe even better. Tied for, is it 14th at the moment?
Yes, bang on. Yep.
So, look, and also 3 shots off third. I mean, this is the reality. Ryan Fox has shown that he can do it on the biggest stage, and I just wish that, more players like him who are actually worthy of it get that opportunity. The thing is, in the rain, I felt sorry for the guy. He's got the stumpy little fox legs, and his wet weather trousers were too long for him, almost dragging on the grass. And you can imagine every other golfer's got it perfectly tailor-made, and no pun or sponsor intended there. And still, he was actually doing really well. So after 11 holes, he's even. So there's a chance for him to come out in some good weather and lower his score even further. So just amazing to see. But Brooks Koepka, unless he does a Greg Norman and totally tanks or chokes, he couldn't do a Shark Tank. You can't do that, surely.
No, I would have thought so. It was raining hard, though, wasn't it? I was just watching a little bit of the footage before I came on at midday, and as Ryan Fox was playing his last couple of holes, it's absolutely teeming down. It's just pouring with rain there.
Yeah, I mean, that's only really, I feel like golf's one of those sports where you should be able to play in all conditions because it just adds a bit of spice to it. I mean, it does affect the chain smokers. I think it was Angel Cabrera smoked cigars on his way to winning the Masters.
Yes.
The big Argentinian. So that would definitely affect him. But I know rain is annoying in golf, but I'm sure you've played them worse, and I know I've played golf them worse. And get out there, Put your jacket on. You've got a caddy who's got an umbrella for you, and show us what you're made of. It does get a bit of a problem if it's aquaplaning across the greens, but there's a team of guys with squeegees, and
exactly.
I know they had to call it. Quite often they call it. If you've ever played golf in America, they call it because of the lightning. Everyone has to come in because you're holding a big shiny rod.
Yeah, it's perilous. It's perilous. Yeah. Yes. Speaking of perilous, getting into the octagon with Israel Adesanya is perilous for most of us. Although the Brazilian Alex Pereira doesn't seem to have too many problems with it. He's fought Adesanya 3 times now, twice in kickboxing, once in MMA, and he's won all 3. Are you backing Israel to reverse that this afternoon when they jump in the octagon just after 4?
I'd love to see. As he make a comeback, we all would. I just feel like Pereira is his kryptonite. It's his ultimate nemesis here. He's bigger than Izzy, and I know it's a weight division, but he cuts his weight, and then of course they've got a day or two to put it back on. And he shows up, and he's an absolute unit. The great thing about Israel Adesanya is he's a superstar of the sport. He's made a name for himself in America, the biggest market. I think he's probably got a Hollywood career waiting for him if he wants it. So I'm not calling his retirement, but if Pereira hangs around in that weight class for much longer and beats him today, then, I don't think he just seems to me like a guy who's too good to be just an also-ran. He's a champion who probably needs to work out what happens next. But look, he's got all the skills in the world, is he? It's just that he's up against a big guy who does look dangerous every single time he strikes, and that's what worries me.
All right, James. Hey, well, it's been great to chat. I always enjoy our catch-ups, and we had a bit longer today because, as you know, no ads on Easter Sunday, so we can just sort of talk for as long as we like, really, until the... Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah, they play tomorrow over in Melbourne. I think their plane leaves in about half an hour, actually. That's tight, isn't it? The A-League table's tight. Man, it's so tight.
Yeah, I know. And I don't mean to extend my segment just by saying the word Phoenix, but I know that it does get you going. And it's an easy extra couple of 30 seconds or something for me. But it's more that I just love the fact that, we've got this team that could do something special. And now every single game I feel like is a real test of their character and their quality. Like we've got this, Oscar Zavada, the incredible striker, and Ufuk Talay, the master coach. We might as well win one this year because I don't think it's going to get much better.
No, indeed. I agree. It's probably as good a squad as I've seen from the Wellington Phoenix, and I just would love them all to play well at the same time for the last couple of months of the season. Yes. Because I think if they do that, there's nobody who really will touch them.
Totally. Yeah, that's all they need to do. It's simple, really.
Yeah, we should be the coaches. Thanks, mate. Enjoy the rest of your Easter, and we'll chat again next Sunday.
Cheers, Piney. Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter, James. James McOnie, regular part of our Sundays, around 1:45 or thereabouts every Sunday here on News Talk ZB and Weekend Sport.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.
Hello, I'm Liam Dan, Business Editor-at-Large for the New Zealand Herald, and I'm back with another season of my podcast, Money Talks. In this series, we're not going to tell you how to get rich. We're not going to try and pick the next interest rate move. Instead, I'll be talking to some interesting New Zealanders about how money has shaped their lives and what they've learned about it through the years. Join us every Saturday for a new chat with an exciting range of guests from the world of business, politics and entertainment. You can find Money Talks with me, Liam Dan, wherever you get your podcasts.